この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Eizouken, episode 10. Last week on episode 9, we kind of floundered around for a little while trying to figure out what we're going to do next. Turned down stacks on stacks on stacks of commissions that we got from various clubs and other institutions around the school in order to seek out something a little bit more self-directed and kind of fun. So we sought out, with the help of Kanamori and almost entirely spearheaded by Kanamori, some community leaders, including a ramen salesman who makes fruit ramen, which is the strangest thing I've ever heard. Maybe it's delicious. I don't know. At which point we sort of flashed back for a good portion of the episode to Kanamori's childhood and her relationship with an older couple who ran a convenience store, or just a general store near her. And it ended up having to shut it down because the business wasn't right. It wasn't a good business. They couldn't keep it afloat. Thus sort of confirming and instilling in her a lot of the things about money that we see in her today, which was pretty wonderfully done. At which point we moved along a little bit, and because we're doing a sort of a community-funded, what would it be called, like a promotional anime, in the same way that the reproduction of Tezuka's Phoenix for that one bathhouse, or Sakura Quest for its town, whatever town that was, are kind of promotional anime built for the community. They want to do the same thing with their own city, their own place, which they find full of imagination and rocket lampposts and all kinds of crazy stuff. So they're going to make an anime about the city itself coming alive and fighting off a gigantic alien invasion, because that's cool. And it is, and it sounds really fun. And then they're going to go and try and, I think, sell DVDs of this anime at Comet A, which is definitely Comic, and that should be a fun time if we ever get there. I really hope we get there, because I want to see how this show handles Comic. Having seen it a couple of other times in Lucky Star and other places, I'd like to see how it's handled here. So that leaves us off with the only other thing that we didn't talk about from last episode, which was Asakusa's amazing little speech at the end, where she realizes that everything is a performance and that she will use performances as kind of her paintbrush to paint her road into the future and do cool stuff. And it was pretty cool and pretty fun. So what the fuck are we gonna do this episode? I don't know. We got an anime to work on. It's gonna be tough. There's a lot of stuff to do. What's the focus gonna be? I don't know. It could be whatever the fuck it wants. Maybe we'll find out in the first 5 seconds of this episode. So let's go ahead and dive on into Eizouken episode 10. With all our friends, just getting their comrades, and we'll see what we see, talk about what we want to talk about, and all that jazz. So I've got episode 10 of Eizouken up and ready to go. It's 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction as usual. You can find a picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description, and a timer-based version up on YouTube. If you want to do a syncy thing with the timer-based version, you can totally do that. Just get your copy of the episode ready, because the beep beep timer to count you down will be coming at you now. Dope. Sitting in your throne. Okay. Picture of what? Have who? Oh, we're listening to the band. Alright. Huh? Oh. Tan on her socks. Okay. Haven't really been keeping up with them. Yeah, we need you to stay popular. Oh geez, she's going full manager. The little blush that went on there. Gonna. Of course. Ah, there she is. The chief judge will be the Tsubame Mizusaki. Okay. Makes sense. Oh, well, that's an angle. Right. So judge them instead. That's real hard. That needs to be gift immediately. Yeah, a little bit. That was cool. Oh, hi. Hehehehe. Oh, then what is it? Yes. That's pretty fair. Alright. Oh. Against our independent world. Alright. We're gonna have to fight the man, I guess. But she said the school as though it's like from up on high. So, again, obstacles at every turn. Creating an anime studio is hard, yo. Creating anything is hard, yo. So far, we seem to have kind of a Kanamori-focused episode. Oh. Welcome. Yeah, give us something useful. Need the money. And answered. Why? Okay, and? Okay. Why not? But, yeah, earning money is important. Learning to earn money and how to manage it is important. Okay, but it can also bring you money. Maybe. Doesn't make them great people. Is that a little backhand? A little bit. Jesus, these poses. No, they do not. Everybody's playing the game of like, my chin's higher than yours. It's an important part of education. Thank you. Bingo. Oh, she nailed it. Make more anime. You're too naive. Hey? What? That's some bullshit. Alright, what do we decide to do with the money then? Whoa. That's gonna put a damper on things. Kanamori seems distant and unfocused. Hey, taking the modeling jobs. Ah. I don't know what that thing on the right was. Voice acting, anime, nice. Okay, there was one shot of her. Good night, Kanamori. That's a lot. Yeah, go through them over and over and over. Ugh. Hey, backgrounds. Hey. Getting reference material with a camera. Oh, that's so many folders. Mama. Oh, got it all mapped out. What? Oh, yes, I see. You're. Is that. Is that supposed to be. It's a particular type of white beard. Oh. Yeah. Enhance. Enhance. What if we never see them? Whoops, we don't have a story. Bye. Oh. Is she just shouting into a mic? This is all their imaginations given the sounds that are happening. Oh my god, she's just snoring. Gotta record that shit. That's valuable. Shh. Sara Soju. We're getting real punny this episode. This is great. I guess you were hoping it was. Huh? That little change in the clouds. I guess she was doing something. Hello, anime goblin. Ah. Let's let's Oh, hello, Akira Slide. Only caught the last half of that. You gotta do it if there are bikes. You just have to. It's what you did when you were in the sewer systems. Mm. Alright, I hear that track coming. What are we gonna find? Listening to railroad tracks? The bike wheel sounds have been consistently excellent. Oh, shit! Wow, we're doing landscapes a lot. Maybe. Okay. Whoa. You can see through it to all the gears and stuff. That's cool. Whoa. That cut. Sure, why not? Alright, we're in the world. This is kind of going off the rails from our whole UFO thing. Yeah. Yeah, but it's not what we're working on right now. Thank you. Hmm. Hmm. Directed energy weapon. Yeah. No? Oh, okay. No, you can make a DW. They're just massively inefficient. Oh, we're using the sounds from her snoring for that same thing. Okay. But then, okay, she's been crazy, girl. Okay. Mic cover? Oh. That's quite a sound. Mmm. Turned into an idea. Oh boy. Is it another show? So once you start on one path, every other path looks interesting. All right, recording some water sounds, some rock skipping sounds. Yeah. Who's that? Oh, hi. Oh, who is the pres? It's the one with the like twin tails and the reddish hair, right? Oh, so doesn't change anything. We're actually chatting with her. Hits all the boxes. Sure. Sure, yeah, that makes sense. But you won't be protected in the real world. Is it this a veiled threat? Make different kinds of machinery? Welcome to the world. Whoa. No, these are... Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Huh. Huh. Okay. Shaping it. Wow. Just shaping waveforms. That is ethereal and weird. Oops. Pressure, 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 pressure. Oh, Jesus. They sure are. Is that the end? What? Man, something about that sequence of shaping waveforms and the ethereal chimes going was some different. That was special. Whoa. Whoa. That's super different. Rodrigo Makoto Matsumura. Who the fuck are you? And what? Google, Google. Rodrigo Makoto Matsumura. On an N on. Sure. Super Shiro and Keep Your Hands Off Eizouken. Digital animation episodes 1 through 3 and 8 and 9 and ending animation. Oh. Like actually responsible for the ending animation? This DD? And not just the end card? I don't know. Cool. What the fuck is Super Shiro? The Nohara family dog Shiro becomes a superhero and protects the legendary Boba Boba Bone from evil inventor dog Dekapu and his ambitions of world domination. What? Director Masaki Yuasa. October 20. Why have I never heard of that? It's a short, isn't it? Okay, whatever. It's fine. Sure. So, some interesting focuses in this episode. A lot of focus on sound. A lot of great sound stuff. Some really cool moments with bikes going by, with the water lapping on the beach, the rocks and stones being thrown across it. All kinds of cool things with sound. And then the other interesting thing that we focused on was education, and this played pretty heavily off of Kanamori's previous episode and our focus on her and her sort of mindset toward the world. Um, I think it's a pretty common sentiment to say something along the lines of like education doesn't actually prepare students for the real world, and they're going to face harsh reality once they get outside of the relatively protective confines of formal education. I think that's a pretty fair take and a pretty common one. And I think that Kanamori as a character is almost tailor built to have a pretty perfect response to that, which is that going outside of what the school offers and allows and protects. And doing extracurricular activities for money-making purposes as though the club is a business in and of itself is valuable experience and perhaps far more valuable than doing things extracurricularly within the curriculum, which is kind of a ridiculous situation that goes on here. But I think it's pretty easy for us as viewers to see that the Eizouken so far has, through battling the rules, honestly, like over and over and over again, they've been existing in this gray area of like school legality. Given that there's already an anime club and that they were initially told that they couldn't make anime in a film club and blah 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 blah, it's their continuous battles against the rules to sort of thwart them and ensure that they can go and do what they want to do anyway, despite obstacles, despite things in their path, that has given them the skills that they actually need to succeed and has made them far better rounded as individuals and as a group, to take on the challenges of the real world, whether that's in animation or in almost any other industry that they were to choose. They are probably better prepared than most of their peers. So that whole conversation was interesting to me and a pretty cool one. I was wondering where we were going to go with this episode and kind of expecting, because of the way that we did it with Mizusaki, kind of expecting a bit of follow-up for the focus on Kanamori's past and mindset that we got in the previous episode, and I think that happened. It just wasn't in quite the ways that I necessarily would have expected it to, which is honestly quite delightful because I really enjoy when this show surprises me with things. It has continued to be able to surprise me with things, but this was pretty great. I was a little bit worried during the opening sequences. We do get this really cool, rather subtle pull out and down cut, which is animated to the nines for no reason because it's cool, and it is. And then there's a lot of, once we get to here, yeah, we almost entirely frame Kanamori kind of from the perspective of the others sitting around her, but it's this really like low angle shot that is kind of intimidating from her and a little weird. And then doing these like downward shots creates a power dynamic and a weird power dynamic between her and the other two. But it was never played up into. It just worried me for a moment, like, are we going to turn Kanamori against the girls for whatever reason? And nope, not really. Instead, we get them entering. And we start on the almost shaft level of head tilt here, where this I guess she's the secretary, right? Where the secretary has her head tilted all the way back, and then that just sort of escalates throughout the conversation that they have, with every character kind of trying to do this thing, and she's doing it as I don't actually give a fuck about what you're saying, but I'm listening well enough in order to rattle off rote, easy answers to every obstacle that you're going to bring up against me, because I can poke holes in all of it, as she says with her first sentence in the scene. And it's great because they don't actually have any ground to stand on. What she's arguing for is right and makes quite a bit of sense. But they're gonna be sticklers for the rules and force you to deal with the red tape anyway. But yeah, we have sort of a chin elevation off over the course of this scene, which is, it's kind of great. It's fun. It's some weird body language that expresses what it's intending to express pretty effectively. All right. So then there were a couple of things that were subtitled, but I wasn't able to catch them fast enough. me see. All right, there's nothing new there. But when she's handed a... Yeah. What is the deal with this one frame that we get? So we get all of these montagey scenes of them going along with everything, right? They're finding their voice actors, they're working on cuts, they're figuring out their storyboards, and then we get this one shot of the teacher who was sitting in across from the table from them, and it's in weird sunset hues, and she's just staring at her phone. That's it. There's nothing else about this. She just narrows her eyes. Is it because she's like on their case and like watching them real carefully to make sure that they don't do anything untoward, or is that a setup for something else? I don't really know. It's a little bit of a confusing shot. I don't know why it's there. Okay, but we go through this, and then there was stuff here that was translated that I didn't see. All right. Whoa. Job experience. Oh, okay. So job experience and unique talent. Good at impressions, confident in his voice, well-spoken, tough, lots of free time, trilingual, lots of stamina, lots of free time. Fortune teller, illustrator, restaurant worker, anything interesting. Astronaut. What the fuck? I wonder if these names that they've got are anybody. Hiroyuki Saito. Yang Changji. Hiroyuki Saito sounds like a name I've heard before. Hold on. Nope. Japanese professional wrestler? Meh. I don't know. I was wondering if they had taken, like, staff members or industry figureheads or people and thrown them into this list for whatever reason, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like just random names. So that's fine. So, some weird, yeah, pro gamer, soccer club captain. I guess, you know what? This is the future, though. So, the nature of work may have changed significantly. What is everybody working on? Fortune teller, illustrator, restaurant worker, freelancer, English teacher, freelancer, astronaut, civil servant, video creator, pianist, economic analyst, graphic designer, patissier, psychologist, bathhouse clerk. Everything's either a creative field, like an almost a passion thing, or a service industry. That's interesting. How far in the future is this? And how much of daily work is automated at this point in the future? Unknown. Unknown if that's even a thought in the back of their heads, or if I'm just grasping at straws. I don't know. I'm also not sure what Mizusaki is doing here. I assume that she's taken a camera and put it on the floor and is getting like a dog's eye perspective on her own motion so that she can use that for reference footage later. But it's just a little bit unclear. Jeez, that's a lot of folders. Okay. It's Miyazaki, right? Like, yeah, absolutely. There is zero doubt. Miyazaki drawing. Yeah, absolutely. There is no doubt. So she gets a little bit full of herself and puts herself into the form and the guise of the most famous animator and director ever. All right, that makes sense. Yeah, sure. Get some great goofy stuff. And then, let me see, what else was super fantastic? The cut of them all biking. There is a bunch of great sound design on the bikes and stuff, but the POV shot of them biking. So we get that, and then this, and then we get this. That's pretty fucking awesome, if you ask me. That's quite cool. Alright, so we enter into Imagination World, kind of. Find some new locations, do some scouting, all become random thieves, which I think are references to something, but I don't know what they're references to. I mean, that one is, what's his face from the one thing, the guy with the cloak, and I forget. The Phantom Thief has something like that. It's close enough. But anyway, we do that, get some stuff going. rethink everything, start recording sounds. And then this moment where we record this chime and everybody's breath kind of catches. This was super well done. The tension building just up to the scene where it actually sounds, where we actually hear it, the silence for that moment until it actually happens. That's really cool. It's super well done. And an interesting piece of sound. So we'll have to keep an ear out for it once we actually see parts of the finished project. Should be interesting. And then I found this to be a really interesting moment, and I'm not sure what to take from it yet. The secretary goes and willingly talks to them about what they're doing without any sense of like, oh, I'm judging you or I'm gonna rat on you or anything like that. She just seems genuinely interested in this group of weirdos who's out here making anime and seems really passionate about it. I, that's cool. That's awesome. Also, the way that the color changes for the sunset on the riverbank scene is, oh, it's so nice. It's beyond spot on. But I think the coolest thing in this episode is the idea of like manually shaping waveforms in space. Because if you've ever done any audio editing, you know how that's what that is, and it's right, and she's just doing it in a really cool way, almost like beat sabering her waveforms around. I've never seen a visualization of the inside of an audio editor, but that seems about right. Just sitting there waiting, doing live editing. Very cool. Very cool. And that little smile. Plenty of good anime goblin moments, plenty of gifable things in this episode, and all in all, just a blast. Another really good episode of Eizouken. Wow, everybody's really surprised. Put a big shock, and the show's good. Wow, who knew? Okay. Wow. What comes next? I have no idea. Does it matter? I mean, it does, but does it matter? No. So we're gonna be here to watch it. Alright, we will leave it here. Fascinating episode. If there are things that I didn't notice, references, bits of awesomeness, throw them in the comments. I'll read them. That would be great. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Eizouken as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week for the next episode, episode 11. See you there. Peace.